An eerie calm hangs at the conflict-torn ethnic regions of Georgia. The Russian forces have set up fences in the region. Even a slight altercation can tip the balance. It was in 2008 that more than 170 servicemen, 14 policemen, 228 civilians from Georgia were killed during the 5-day conflict between Georgia and Russia in 2008. The conflict centered on the South Ossetia and the Abkhazia regions. These two provinces in Georgia supported by Russia. An accusation of a drone attack on the Georgians by the Russians led to the famous Russo-Georgian War. Russian troops started moving in, flying aircraft over Georgian capital, and airstrikes in South Ossetia made the situation worse. This war, even though it ended, worsened the relations between the countries and was also regarded as the first European war of the 21st century. Russia had largely destroyed Georgia's war-fighting machinery after the ceasefire. Russian troops attempted to seize and destroy Georgian armament, a process termed by the Moscow Defense Brief as the demilitarization of the Georgian armed forces. The war displaced 192,000 people, including both Ossetians and Georgians. Many were able to go back to their homes after the war, but a year later, around 30,000 ethnic Georgians are still uprooted. The 85-year-old man did not leave his home during the attacks. When he woke up in the morning, this barbed wire fence had been erected, leaving his daughter and her child on the other side of the territory, still under control of the Georgian government. Whenever he spots people or troops coming towards the fence, he greets them. He hopes one day this fence would be gone and he can then reunite and continue leading his life with his extended family.
People who are today divided by the artificial barriers, such as barbed wire fences, which are erected there by the occupation regime. 20% of Georgia's territories are occupied today by Russia. These are two regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. Around 300,000 people, which means more than half of the population of these two regions, are in exile. These are ethnic Georgians. There are other people, around 200,000 people, who remain behind these barbed wires of different ethnicities, mostly Abkhazians and Ossetians.
Refugee Naira Javishvili remembers each minute of the day when they had to flee. They picked up whatever they could as they left. The recurrent bombing and the inferno that took place as she left her hometown haunts her till this day. She now lives in a refugee accommodation provided by the Georgian government, not far from where the fence has been erected.
აქ უნდა აღვნიშნო, რომ ჩვენსა და ოსურ სოფლებს შორის განყოფი ხაზი არ არსებობდა. არსებობდა მხოლოდ სავალი გზა, სავალი ბილიკები. ერთადერთი გასასვლელი გზა, რომ თავი დაგვეღწია მტრისაგან, ეს იყო ქართლისკენ მომავალი გზა, გორისკენ მომავალი გზა, რომელიც ისიც სახიფათო იყო, მაგრამ მაინც საიმედო იყო ჩვენთვის. მოგეხსენებათ ახალბად გაითვალისწინებთ, თუ როგორი განლაგება იყო და როგორი იყო ჩვენი მდგომარეობა. ამ სამივე სოფელში უკვე ჯარისკაცები იყვნენ. ისმოდა სროლის ხმები, აფეთქებები. ჩვენს იქ ყოფნის დროს, სანამ მასიურად განადგურდებოდა სოფელი, რამდენიმე ბინა დაიწყა. ჩამოვარდა ყუმბარები, ცია, ანუ ეს ჩვენი მტერი რუსეთი ასე გაიმეტებდა ქართლის ამ მშვენიერ სოფელს.
Georgia and Ukraine have been conceding to join the NATO and also allying themselves with Western ideas is something that the Russians see as the installation of a puppet government in Georgia, whereas the Georgians realize that they have a puppet government in Abkhazia and Ossetia.
The devastating war pushed EU foreign ministers to authorize 300-strong observer mission to replace Russian troops in the buffer zone. There are still disagreements going on about where exactly the EU observers will be allowed to go and how many soldiers will remain in the Abkhazia and the South Ossetia region. The threat of Russian incursions looms large in these Georgian villages. What the Georgians describe it as is a creeping occupation. Now what Georgia is hoping, that Russia will stop making its incursions and stand by its international promise and withdraw entirely from its territory. I'm Rohit Gandhi in Georgia and Kurvaleti, reporting for Democracy News Live.